York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Look, it's Ebro in the morning. The amazing, beautiful Laura Styles, Heavy Jordan, 3s and 4s.
We're here together, you know.
And Nicky Jam, what's going on, man?
What's good? What's good? What's
Yo,
good? God
what's
bless,
good, man? Repping Puerto Rico.
Always.
We had a chance to talk on the phone, and talk about what happened with the hurricane. You checked in, and I appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah.
Have you been able to get back to the island? Can you give us an update? What's going on?
Yeah, everything's getting better right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's light. You know, you can save 60-70% of the island. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not everything taken care of, you know what I'm saying? But we know we get in there. People going to the theater again, people going to the mall again, people buying stuff, you know what I'm saying? But what's, the countryside of Puerto Rico is what's still affected.
The mountains and all that.
Right. That's where people are really affected. That's where, they got to focus, and that's where we trying to focus and help people over there, because the cities is pretty much okay.
I saw that I love the fact that a lot of the artists really stepped up and did what they had to do to help the people. But talk about, was it filters? Was it solar powered stuff and all the initiatives that you guys were trying to put together to help the people that live more in the campos?
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of everything, we was just trying to help Puerto Rico in total, you know what I'm saying? Just, fix the whole situation and make people from the States care about what was happening in Puerto Rico. It was a hard time because, there was a lot of things happening at the same time. So, it was kind of hard for people to focus on what was happening only in Puerto Rico. They had the Mexico thing. Yeah. And so it was kind of...
Florida, Texas, Mexico.
Florida, it was a hard moment, you know what I'm saying? So now that everything, is calmed down, saying now, I'm not saying that Puerto Rico, it's everything's covered, everything's cool. We still got a lot to go up, but it's a lot better. If I tell you that right now, I'm still connected. What's happening in Puerto Rico, I would lie to you, because I've been in Mexico for almost 2 months doing my Netflix series, and I've been working 12 hours a day, nonstop for 2 months. So I mean. What I said, what I promised, I did. I said I was gonna be in anything to help the island and hook it up, you know what I'm saying, and make it beautiful again. And that's what I've been doing. Every time there's an event, I go, I perform, do what I gotta do. But I don't really know much of what's happening right now because the Netflix thing.
It seems like things gotten a lot more political too with the Puerto Rico thing, right? Where it's like, I hear a lot of artists saying what you're saying, like, yo, I'm taking care of the people I can take care of, but there's this other political, the governor, the mayor of San Juan.
There's a lot of ugly stuff happening because they were like, I even heard some people from the government were stealing the goods, you know what I'm saying, for them. Yeah, and they weren't taking care of people in Puerto Rico, but it's I've been hearing stuff about government since I was a little kid, so it's not a surprise for me. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's sad to see how they had to leave their houses and everything. I live in Miami now, and there's. You only see Cubans in Miami and Venezuelans now. Yeah. When you see Puerto Ricans, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn,
They say like a lot of Puerto Ricans are now Orlando and Tampa.
Yeah, Orlando, Tampa, Miami.
Thousands, yeah.
They everywhere now, and they struggle, and they trying to, make their houses again. I know people staying in hotels because FEMA gave them like some small amount of time to be in a hotel. Sometimes they write to me on a DM like, yo, I need a car, can you hook me up with a car? Like there was this girl the other day, she was with a daughter, and she had the hotel in FEMA until like a week. And she didn't know what she was going to do. And she said if she had a car, she could move there. So I helped her out with $5,000 to buy her a car. And I gave her some more money. I try to help, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of DM people that wants me to help them. I try to pick one a week, a month, you know what I'm saying?
It sounds like to me like you're doing a lot. And I mean, I'm sure you end up beating yourself up because you're away working on a project, so you're like, oh, am I vain because I'm just moving on with my career? But you have to. I mean, I don't think. Listen, you're doing the parts that you can while still making sure that you're able to do what you do. By the way, you've been in this game now for like 25 years.
25 years.
Did you think when you were a little kid and you put out your first album? I gotta tell you, the cover art for that album is something special. Unlike It's
I
unlike
had my dad's shirt on. I know you could tell.
and the rainbow colored letters. But did you have an idea that, when you were that young, 13 years old, what the path would take you on and how long the journey would be?
I would have never imagined. I mean, for me, it was crazy. I was 12 years old and I was doing the album. You know what I'm saying? And what lyrics can you write when you're 12 years old? So the album didn't help that much. They didn't sell that much, but it helped me connect me with the DJs in the streets because they saw what I could do. But I would have never thought it was gonna go this far. I would have never thought it was gonna feed my family. I would have never thought I was gonna be the artist I am today. Never. I would never thought that in my life.
And lead to Netflix series and things. I mean,
I would have never thought that.
Not to mention, we would have never known.
I'm in Hot 97 right now. I mean, this is back in the days when I used to live in the Bronx, and I used to, I'm like, for me, Hot 97, it was just something that you got to be a hip hop artist to be there. So for me to sit here with you guys and having an interview with me, for me is big. When they told me today, like I this is the second time I've been here, like going to Hot 97 is like it's unreal for me because I'm a reggaeton artist. I sing Spanish music. You know what I'm saying? I sing music where the beat's not hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So automatically my mind back in the days was limited in terms of thinking I would be here and everywhere else.
Right.
Do you in the early 2000s when reggaeton started to go mainstream, right? And Daddy Yankee, yourself, Don Omar, Tego. Talk about that time too, because that was a big moment, right? Because that was kind of when we really, a lot of people forget that Hot 97 played, freestyle and hip hop in the early days, in the early 90s when we came on, right? And then in the early 2000s when reggaeton really started to bust, we started to get to some of that too. But talk about that feeling at that time when that stuff started to go mainstream and they started to have like reggaeton stations. Lord Style started at a reggaeton station.
Yeah, because to me it's special because at the time it was like my first on-air gig. I used to work for a station called La Calle, owned by Univision.
Where in the States?
Yeah, New York. Yeah,
Okay,
so it was my first radio gig. But I remember meeting
this is when? What year was this?
God, in 2000s.
2000,
yeah, so I remember meeting artists like De La Ghetto when they were babies and barely starting, and Daddy Yankee and Don Omar. So
no, I mean, this is when it first became, when this is when it came out of Puerto Rico.
Right.
A lot of people be like, "How long you been singing?" I've been singing for 25 years. Like, what? Reggaeton's been around like for 4 years. Nah, man. It was in our country for 20 something years, almost 30 years. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it just came out. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first time it kind of came out to the States. It was the first, and then from there, Central America and all that. And in that moment, I was really young. I was like 20 years old. Out of all the old school cats, I was the youngest one. You know what I'm saying? Because Don Omar, Daddy Yankee, I'm even older than Don Omar in the game. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For how long you been in it? But you started as a little kid.
I started as a little kid, but obviously I had the rainbow colored CD.
Your dad's shirt on.
With my dad's shirt on. But I mean, it was incredible to see Daddy Yankee with Puff Daddy in the Grammys in that moment. It was incredible to see what else? There were a lot of things.
Jay-Z started the label, Rock La Familia.
Yeah, Rock La Familia. He worked with Hector El Father. It was incredible. It was crazy. I mean, and I wasn't a part of that because I wasn't in my biggest moment in that time. That was that moment I was in drugs, alcohol. I was too young and I couldn't deal with it. So that was that. But
that's why I asked you how you felt about it, because as an artist that started young, this thing starts to blow up. You're struggling with real life issues.
Exactly.
And you're looking like, I gotta get my shit together. What the fuck
almost
am I
like
doing?
you could have missed the window.
I thought I did miss the window. You could say, yeah, but the thing is, I thought I lost it completely because my mentality is like I blew it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you cover all of this in your Netflix documentary?
Everything. You're gonna see everything. You're gonna see my dad in drugs. You're gonna see my mom in prostitution and drugs as well. You're gonna see everything I went through. My dad was a fugitive from the law. They caught him with 25 kilos of cocaine, and he had to take me to Puerto Rico to raise us because my mom disappeared on us when he was 8 years old. It's a strong story, you know what I'm saying? And nobody's gonna see something like this in the Spanish world, never. Wow. I mean, and Jesse Terrell is one of the best directors. He's crazy in what he does. The color of the series, I'm telling you, is gonna be crazy. It's really graphic. There is no filter in this. It's really graphic. Everything I pass, So
and there's a film. Or documentary?
No, it's a series.
It's a series. A
Docu-series.
docu-series.
What's a docu-series? Because
What?
you know,
Are you
my
acting
English
in it as yourself?
I'm acting in it.
Oh, then no,
Okay,
it's not.
okay,
Then
okay.
it's
It's
just a
not a
series.
doc. It's not. It's a series.
But about your life.
It's about my life.
Okay.
But you playing you.
You're the actor.
I'm not
and you're
playing me, but I'm
you.
playing me since I was fat. Since I was fat till I got skinny again, and then I went to Colombia to struggle, and I got back up again in my career. There's a younger me, and there's a little kid doing as me as well with the colorful.
That guy's there
The
too.
dad shirt.
That guy's there too.
That guy's there
with
too.
the dad
Now,
shirt.
at what point did you realize in your life? When did things slow down enough for you to have the clarity to go, man, my life's been crazy. Like this has really been insane.
I mean, I thought that was gonna be my destiny always. Cause coming from a broken down home, I was born and raised in Lawrence. And it was hard in Lawrence back in the days. It is a small town, but it's like, if you guys know about Lawrence, Massachusetts, it's
Heavy drugs over there.
it's
Yeah.
heavy,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And every Puerto Rican, every Dominican in that time was in that movement. And that was the crack era, you know what I'm saying? And all that. So, it was hard for me growing up. I saw a lot of rough stuff, you know what I'm saying? So,
How many places did you live, by the way? You've already referenced the Bronx, Lawrence,
Yeah.
Puerto Rico, Colombia.
around Orlando. I lived everywhere. I mean, first of all, as a musician, you go all the way around wherever you think is better for you. And because I was in Orlando living, because I had my executive producer. That's what you say. Yeah, my producer. He was the one. He was living in Orlando, so I was living in Orlando in that time.
This is when Orlando was like boy band. Was this like when Orlando was like where a lot
Kinda
of music
like-
was coming out of?
Yeah, but I was but it was.
this is
But I
unrelated.
wasn't a boy band thing.
Yeah.
Not part of the boy band?
He's completely different.
I never had that look. I wish, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of money there. Well, I'm happy I wasn't there now, because then I would have been messed up right now in this moment. But I mean, in Orlando, I had my manager in that time. Okay, I lived in Lawrence, Massachusetts until I was 10 years old. That's when my dad was a fugitive, and he ran out and took us to Puerto Rico. Back in the days, the system wasn't. You could había una cosa que se llamaba el récord de buena conducta. It was like the paper you come out
You
saying
didn't
that
need it. You just needed to go.
back in the days, it wasn't connected with the states, so he could have been a fugitive and have a good job and everything. Today, it's different.
Completely
but back in
different,
the
right.
days, he got away with it. They caught him because he went to Dominican Republic. He forgot he was a fugitive.
I hate when that happens.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah.
Come on, Pop.
Yeah, he did, man. Well, he needed to get that off his shoulders or whatever. So that's when I went to Puerto Rico. I lived there until I was 20 years old, 30 years old, and then from there, 20 years old, I came here to New York. I lived in the Bronx for 2 years. 2 years in the Bronx, Creston, 193rd by Fordham Road. I lived there for 2 years, and then went back to Puerto Rico. Actually, I lived here with Daddy Yankee in New York. This is when a lot of stuff was happening in New York. They killed one of our homies, and they said we was next. So we came over here running because the guy was kind of dangerous. You know what I'm saying? We went to New York, and then we was hustling and doing our money, do whatever we got to do. And I said, you know what? We gotta go back, man. I already made some money hustling in the streets. Let's get armed. Let's do whatever we got to do and take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to do our careers. Over here in New York, we ain't doing nothing. Everybody buying icebergs, and we working in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we went back to Puerto Rico, and I lived there until I was 30 years old. Then from Puerto Rico, I went to Colombia, and I lived there a decade in Colombia.
Wow.
That's where I got back on my feet, and that's where I stopped doing drugs and that. But you got to see the Netflix thing, man. You got to.
So you're still filming it though. You're wrapping it up.
I finished my part, but they'll finish in a month or two.
Okay. So
It's coming out after El Mundial. You know, the soccer.
Right.
Yeah.
what is it called?
El Ganador.
El Ganador.
The winner.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now, I mean, you're able to do this type of creativity, and it feels like internationally, the music has kind of embraced the Caribbean again, right? Like, so you have the success of Luis Fonsi, and the success of you and the record with Pitbull, with the El Taxi record y'all had, and then you had some other success, the El Amante joint, just bubbling. You have Bad Bunny, you have all these new arts, excuse me, that are coming on. Does it feel like the music is getting back to a place for you?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's in its best moment right now. You know what I'm saying? Everything is perfect. You know, I'm having fun. I reached everything I wanted to do in the music. I think even more. I mean, right now, I was 1 year working this series for Netflix, and I came back with a song, and it's already 200 million views in 2 weeks.
How did you feel when Will Smith put it on his Instagram?
Blessed.
Will Smith played it. He was speaking in Spanish, talking about this is what the song that energizes him before he has to like work. It's
incredible,
so sick.
incredible. Is Will Smith is an icon, one of the biggest icons in TV. I mean, it's crazy. Everybody crazy with the song. I'm only 2 weeks been out the song, and look, everything is happening. Will Smith dancing with the song, more than 200 million views. I'm blessed, man.
Wow. Nicky Jam, ladies and gentlemen. How do you pronounce the name of the series again?
El Ganador.
El Ganador.
The winner.
The winner.
And it comes out
Ganar.
after the El Mundial, which is, what's
World
the
Cup.
date again?
I think it's June.
It's
something
World Cup
like
this
that.
summer. It's hard for you to remember World Cup, Ebro, because we're not in it. But it's still happening. It's still happening this year without America.
Wait,
but
Nicky,
it's happening.
Nicky, and are you working on an English project?
Yeah. I'm doing an English album right now.
Okay, so that's what you're working on right now.
I'm working on it right now. Yeah, it's taking time because I'm looking for the good writers. Because the thing is, I don't write in English.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I write in Spanish.
So you have to translate it and make it make sense.
I do the melodies and I'll make people help me out with the English. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but
'Cause-
you don't want to force it where you're thinking it in Spanish, translating it
Yeah,
to
like
English.
I like my English is good, but it's something I think in Spanish. So sometimes I want to say something to you guys, and you see me struggling, like esto lo que pasa es que, So
and that can end up making for corny lyrics if you're overthinking it.
So you need somebody that has that
Have you
swag.
talked to Tory Lanez?
I did, yeah, of course.
Well, he's doing a Spanish album.
Y'all should help
I
each
did a
other.
song with him.
For his Spanish album?
Yeah. Of
course.
So is he helping you on the English album?
I
He
mean,
has
he
to
gave
now.
me a song. I gave him
Oh,
one.
there you go.
You know what I'm
Boom,
saying?
boom,
Yeah, we
pow.
already did business.
Bing,
Yeah.
bop, bing.
Yeah, man, it was easy. You know what I'm saying? No, he doing. It's funny, man. He sounds good. Tu me escogiste como si no te. He's killing it, man. He's doing it. You got that song, right? You got it.
Yo, let's run your tune right now. What's the name of this big record right here? The one that's 200 million views.
It's called X.
X. Let's play it right now. X.
Let's do it.
Yo, Nicky Jam, man, it's great to meet you face to face, bro. Much
thank
success.
you, man. God bless. Thank you for having me here again. I feel this is a legendary place, man. I like the doors. I mean, it's kind of hard to come in here.
No, we gotta chill. It's crazy.
I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to your Netflix
so I can
special.
talk shit about everybody right now, and I'm good, right?
Yeah, but you gotta go back out. You gotta go back out.